Y'all, hello. Welcome back to the Mindful Moments podcast. I'm Tracy. I'm your host and fellow traveler on this journey of self-exploration and discovery. Y'all, listen. So I told y'all that we were going to continue this conversation around quantum consciousness, and we indeed are going to continue this conversation. And today I'm beyond excited because we're going to start talking about a concept that has completely been mind-bending for me. And it builds upon what we've already discussed in previous episodes, and this one is focused on quantum realities and multiverses. So, before you lose your entire lid, if you've been following along, you likely remember when we were touching on quantum mechanics and the strange and mysterious behavior of those tiny particles. Today, we're going to expand on that foundation a bit. And we're going to explore the possibility that our universe is just one of many. To get us started, I want us to start with first just imagining. Just go with me on this, okay? Just imagine for a moment that our universe is just one book in a vast cosmic library, and each book represents a different universe. Some books will tell stories very similar to ours, while others could be completely, totally different. And this is basically the concept of the multiverse theory. It's this idea that our universe is just one of many possible universes. Do y'all remember when we talked about the possibilities that come along with quantum mechanics? That it just opens up this infinite spectrum of all of these different possibilities. We touched on the idea that particles can exist in multiple states at once, and this concept is a stepping stone to understanding multiverses. So hold on to that. Quantum mechanics explores how the tiniest particles in our universe behave, and their behavior is often seen as being surprising or mysterious because their behavior can pop up in unpredictable ways, infinite unpredictable ways. Unlike the predictable behavior we see in our everyday world, these particles can exist in multiple states simultaneously, and this concept is known as superposition. This unpredictability at the quantum level suggests that multiple realities could actually exist. In earlier episodes, we talked about how particles can be in two places at once, and this is part of the foundation for understanding how there really could be many different versions of our universe, each of them representing a different possible outcome, a different set of scenarios and existences. Now, let's bring in the many worlds interpretation, and this was proposed by a physicist by the name of Hugh Everett. And this idea suggests that every possible outcome of a quantum event actually does occur, but it occurs in separate, branching types of universes. And to illustrate this, I want you to I want you to imagine flipping a coin. In our universe, it might land on heads up, but in another universe, it lands on tails up. Both outcomes happen, but we only see one. So if we connect this to what we've talked about previously and how we've talked about quantum particles and the fact that they seem to choose different paths simultaneously, right? The many worlds interpretation extends this idea, and it suggests that every decision or every random event, each of those creates a new branch in the universe. Okay, so this is where it gets super fun and exciting, and I want us to consider the implications of all of this for our consciousness, or at least the consciousness that we understand it to be. If multiple realities exist, it could mean that there are countless versions of us living different lives based on different choices and events. And if you really think about it, this challenges our understanding of identity and existence, and it suggests that our consciousness might also have multiple versions in different universes. And you know what? Whenever I think back to what we've already talked about, and I think about how our thoughts and actions are interconnected with the universe. So to me, understanding that there might be many versions of our consciousness and different realities, it kind of adds a new dimension to this idea. It kind of makes my brain expand in some very curious ways. And the concept of multiverses, it isn't just scientific, it also has that philosophical edge to it, you know, like it makes us question the nature of reality and our place in it. It's got me thinking, you know, are we just one version of ourselves out of infinite possibilities? How do our choices and actions shape the universe we experience? And as we've gone through various stages of exploring and discovering the impact of our decisions and the nature of reality, I'm finding that theories that relate to multiverses, it kind of takes all of this a step further, and it suggests that every decision that we make could create a new reality. And this is just so interesting to me. Regardless of where you stand on whether or not you accept this as a possibility or you believe it to be a possibility, it is a possibility because here we are talking about it, so it does exist. Think about that for a minute. And as you're holding this thought and as you're thinking about this, I want us to bring this back to our daily lives. Of course, y'all already know that I'm about to do that, but here we are. While the multiverse theory, it can feel a bit abstract, I'll admit that, but it also can inspire us to think about the potential of our actions and the potential of our decisions. If every choice creates a new reality, it highlights the importance of being mindful and intentional in how we live. And to emphasize mindfulness and intentional living, it helps us in understanding that our choices might create new realities, and it underscores the significance of living with purpose and present moment awareness. So listen, next time that you're finding yourself and you're having a really bad hair day, I want you to look yourself in the mirror and I want you to smile, and I want you to think about the fact that somewhere out there, there's a version of you with 10 hair, having a perfect hair day, and you're living your best life. But seriously, thinking about these concepts can be both mind-blowing and, I will admit, it can be a bit overwhelming. But all of it, for me, it helps to keep things light and fun, especially as we continue to explore these cosmic ideas together. And for me, I truly find these ideas fascinating for many different reasons, but simply because they challenge the way we view the world and our place in it. And just like how fantasy novels and movies, they all paint pictures, they all tell stories that expand our understanding. And what I found is that taking some time to consider and learn more about these theories can unlock limitless possibilities. And listen, if you have different views or you have some thoughts on this and you'd love to share them, well, I'd love to hear them. Feel free to comment, feel free to drop a line, tell me what you're thinking, and we can keep this conversation going. For now, all that I ask of all of you is just allow yourself to explore, to be curious, and really think about all of what we're talking about in this quantum consciousness series. And of course, keep in mind that everything that I'm sharing within this series is meant to simply spark your curiosity. It's by no means meant to be the comprehensive coverage of all of these topics, and certainly I'm not really the expert in the field, but if we all think about it, we are the experts in our own realities as we know it to be, as we understand it. And that wraps up today's episode on quantum realities and multiverses. With that, be here, be you, be now.